Good evening. Thanks for joining us for the Friday edition of Source 16 News at 10. I'm Tammy Hancock. A fatal wreck in Cheatham County, Tennessee yesterday afternoon claimed the lives of a Hopkinsville hairdresser and her son and critically injured her boyfriend. Tiffany Rodriguez was driving along the Ashland City Highway in Cheatham County Thursday afternoon when, according to police, she turned into the path of an approaching SUV. Rodriguez apparently did not see the SUV and the two collided. Rodriguez was taken to a local hospital where she was pronounced dead. Her son, 11-year-old Joshua Reyes, died at the scene of the accident. Rodriguez's boyfriend, 54-year-old Lewis Higgins, also a Hopkinsville native, was taken to Vanderbilt University Medical Center where he is listed in critical condition. Another child, her 6-year-old daughter, was in the car but was not seriously injured and was released to the care of the grandparents. Rodriguez was the former owner of Urban Lily in downtown Hopkinsville, and although she was living in Ashland City, she continued to be a hairdresser here working at Natalie's salon. Owner Natalie Allison says it was Rodriguez who inspired her to follow her dream.
Tiffany was a worker here and a very good friend. She inspired me to be a cosmetologist at the age of 43. It was February 15th, 2004. I was getting my hair done. And we were talking and she said, if you want to do it, go for it. You're never too old to change your life. And she was a great inspiration. And she's the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing now. And I love her for it. So, it's never too late to change your life until you take your last breath. We just want all of her customers to know that there's probably going to be terrible expenses and that if anyone wants to donate to the family, they can leave the donations here and we will be sure that the family gets the donations.
If you would like to make a donation, you can drop it off at Natalie's Salon, 300 North Drive in Hopkinsville. Well, a Hopkins County woman was seriously injured when she was run over by her own vehicle in Madisonville this morning. Around 9:05, the Madisonville Fire Department and other emergency responders went to the scene of 225 Country Club Lane where they found Mary Jo Riddle lying on her back in the driveway with injuries to her legs and possibly a left hip injury. Riddle was transported by ambulance to Regional Medical Center for treatment. The William Natcher Parkway at Western Kentucky Parkway in Ohio County was shut down for several hours today after a tractor trailer overturned, spilling 43,000 pounds of aluminum coils. 64-year-old Joseph Everett of Glasgow was operating a 2007 Kenworth around 1:15 this afternoon when Kentucky State Police say his tractor trailer ran off the road, hit a guardrail, and overturned. State Police say the coils had to be offloaded before the semi could be uprighted, causing the parkway at the westbound entrance ramp to the Western Kentucky Parkway to be closed for several hours. An investigation into the cause of the wreck revealed the aluminum coils were not secured in the trailer as required, causing the weight to shift and the truck to overturn. According to State Police, Everett was wearing his seatbelt and refused medical treatment. Well, the 101st Airborne Division welcomed a new brigade commander today at the local post. Here's Marie Fainer with more details about the change of command ceremony.
Well, it's a tough day, but you know, all good things must end. And again, I was proud to be handing it over to RJ Lilliebridge, really, because you know, of his past combat records and his tremendous leadership. So it's a sad day, but it's a good thing knowing that a great guy is going to come in and take your place. The best thing I remember about Fort Campbell is the closeness of the folks around here and how they treat the military consistently with dignity and respect, and especially when we need it most during a time of our deployments. The community comes together to take care of their families, and it's best about Fort Campbell.
Colonel Luong will be moving to California to pursue a Stanford fellowship. An afternoon fire caused extensive interior damage to a Cerulean home. Officials told Source 16 on the scene the cause of the fire is currently under investigation, but may have been caused by a faulty air conditioning unit that was recently installed at the 1160 Rasco Road residence in northwestern Christian County. The homeowners were not at home when the fire started, and officials say no one was injured as a result of the blaze. Westside Fireman Brian Warman explains the details of the fire.
The fire started 11:05, which is my counterpart. Showed up before the engine, got a lot of it knocked out with a fire extinguisher. We pulled our engine up, packed up, got some water, went inside, sprayed out some hot spots. It's pretty significant. I'm not sure, it's not really my say to say whether it's a total loss or not, but pretty much all the rooms have been affected by the smoke, especially the living room and all the furniture in the living rooms.
Firefighters from the Cerulean, Gracie, and Westside Volunteer Fire Departments were on the scene for over 2 hours. Officials from the Kentucky Education and Workforce Development Cabinet and Federal Emergency Management Agency today announced that Fulton County is among 4 additional counties that have qualified for disaster unemployment assistance, bringing the total to 21 counties. Fulton County residents who have lost work or whose businesses were damaged due to severe weather that occurred beginning April 22nd may be eligible for unemployment insurance benefits. Graves and Marshall counties were previously announced as being qualified for the benefits. The deadline to apply for unemployment insurance benefits is tomorrow. For local Graves County residents were among Governor Steve Beshear's appointments to boards and commissions this week. Ray McCord, Richard Bradley, Chris Barnes, and John True were appointed as city council persons for the city of Water Valley in Graves County. McCord is a print shop manager for Letica Corporation. Bradley is a carpenter welder for C&W Lumber Company. Barnes is a parts sales employee for Hudson Incorporated. And True is a maintenance employee for Turner Holdings LLC. The residents will serve as city council persons until the next general election. A traffic violation led to the arrest of a Graves County woman this morning after police reportedly found meth inside her vehicle. Around 7:35 this morning, 47-year-old Bobby Jones of Water Valley was stopped by a Marshall County Sheriff's deputy for not having a registration plate on her vehicle. After an investigation by the deputy, Jones was arrested and charged with possession of a controlled substance, methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and numerous traffic-related offenses. Jones was lodged in the Marshall County Detention Center. Tonight at midnight, some local residents will experience a power outage. General Electric will perform an outage at the Green Hills substation that will affect about 1,000 customers in the following areas: Butler Road, Fairview Road, and US 41 South from Green Hills to Kirkman's Hardware. General Electric officials say this outage will last about 15 minutes while crews put a transformer within the substation. Political campaigns are heating up as Kentuckians will go to the polls this fall to elect all major state offices. In the race for governor, incumbent Steve Beshear faces opponent David Williams, Republican president of the Senate, who is running with Agriculture Commissioner Richie Farmer in the lieutenant governor spot. Current Lieutenant Governor Daniel Mangiardo is not seeking re-election, and 5-time former Louisville Mayor Jerry Abramson has joined the Democratic ticket. Abramson visited with Source 16 today, and we asked him what he thinks the biggest challenges facing the Commonwealth over the next 4 years include.
Worst financial crisis this country has seen since the Great Depression. And literally, as a result, unemployment across America, home and farmers losing their farms, citizens, residents losing their homes on defaults. The economy is it, and the job issue is.
He also commented on the transition from governing on the city level to a statewide office.
Well, the difference is a lot less than I had thought, to be honest with you. As you travel around the community, the Commonwealth, what you find literally is, number one, the media market of Jefferson County is 40-some-odd counties. So you get out of the car in a community and people know who you are. Secondly, you find when you go out into the rural areas or into the just smaller cities that the issues they're dealing with are the same issues that I dealt with as the county judge mayor of Jefferson County, Louisville merged, or the old city of Louisville.
You can see the entire interview with Mayor Jerry Abramson next week on The Scene. 8th District State Representative John Tilley has been presented the 2011 Public Advocate Award in recognition of his leadership in passing this year's landmark corrections reform. Tilley of Hopkinsville was presented the award by the Department of Public Advocacy at a kickoff luncheon for the Kentucky Bar Association. Tilley, the chief sponsor of the new law, said receiving this award was humbling and added that many had a role in the writing and near unanimous support of his House Bill 463, which officially took effect earlier this month. He shared the honor with his fellow co-chairman of the General Assembly's Judiciary Committee, State Senator Tom Jensen. Meanwhile, Tilley's colleague, 9th District State Representative Myron Dossett of Pembroke, announced today that he will donate his salary from the 13 veto days of the 2011 extraordinary session of the General Session. As a fiscal conservative, Dossett says, quote, "I believe it was unnecessary for legislators to be paid for veto days when this special session was essentially over. While my salary is only a drop in the bucket of the overall amount paid to legislators, I decided to donate this money to schools and various local organizations within my district." This is not the first time that Dossett has exercised fiscal discipline. Last year, Dossett also returned a large portion of his annual legislative postage allowance allotted to all members of the General Assembly. Well, we have another recall to tell you about tonight. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety and Big Lots are voluntarily recalling about 30,000 metal futon bunk beds. Officials say children behind the futon or in the ladder area of the bunk bed can get entrapped when the futon and its metal frame are lowered from the seated to the flat position. In March of last year, a 3-year-old Iowa boy died when he became entrapped at the head and neck and couldn't breathe or escape from the recalled bunk bed. Additionally, the metal futon bunk beds have another hazard at the space between the last rung on the ladder and the futon mattress, which can allow a child's body to pass through, but not the head, posing an entrapment hazard. For more information, you can contact Big Lots toll-free at 866-245-5687 or visit the firm's website, biglots.com. Weekday closures on a section of road in Hopkins County is being extended into next week. Kentucky Transportation Cabinet spokesman Keith Todd says the daytime closures along Kentucky 281, the Island Ford Road, from the intersection of Carroll Gentry Road to the intersection of Charles Lennon Road will be from 7 a.m. to about 3:30 each day through the middle of next week. The closures are to allow crews to repair a number of base failures. The Vietnam Traveling Wall Memorial has made a stop at American Legion Post 73 in Murray for the weekend. Michelle Herron has more on the memorial and Murray's own hometown hero.
It represents the fact that freedom doesn't come free.
I personally spent 3 years in Vietnam.
The Traveling Wall Memorial has made its stop at Murray's American Legion Post 73 for the weekend.
And there are several names on this wall that were close, very close personal friends of mine, and in fact one that grew up right around the corner from me in Evansville, Indiana. So it has a special meaning to me.
The 80% replica represents the Washington, D.C. Memorial and lists all 58,272 names, with the last 6 being added just last year.
On this wall is listed everybody that was killed in Vietnam. There are no civilians on this wall. They are just military people that were killed as part of the Vietnam conflict.
Something Cub Scout Den leader Roy Day says our nation's future should know and understand.
Well, I was always taught that if you don't learn from your mistakes, you're doomed to repeat them. So what we want to do is teach them about freedom so that they don't have to fight for it as hard as we have.
Now, this wall is something many Murray residents say they respect, but not only because of what it represents, but because of their own hometown hero.
He's our namesake. This is the American Legion Post 73, the Billy Lane Laufer post.
21-year-old Private First Class Billy Lane Laufer volunteered to deploy to Vietnam after re-enlisting in the U.S. Army.
And he was guaranteed to stay in Germany. However, he had a barracks mate that was going to be sent to Vietnam, and apparently his barracks mate had a family and Billy Lane Laufer didn't. Billy Lane Laufer volunteered to replace that guy and took the quota for going to Vietnam.
Just 6 days after deploying, Laufer was killed in action while defending his squad, a deed that was awarded a Medal of Honor and a Purple Heart, 2 of the military's highest honors.
It's really something to have a Medal of Honor recipient buried in your home, in your town. there aren't that many Medal of Honor recipients to begin with, and you have to do something really extraordinarily heroic in order to get the Medal of Honor.
They died so we can be free, and we want the boys to always remember that.
As Elmer Davis once said, this nation will remain the land of the free only so long as it is the home of the brave.
Events at Post 73 will continue throughout the weekend.